Glacier is the mother of the Yukon River. Her ice is up to 1 kilometer thick, and every winter another 400 centimeters of snow are added to the top. But this giant is shrinking. Since 1924, the glacier has retreated 5 kilometers and lost 1/3 of its height. This tremendous volume of meltwater pours into the Yukon. Llewellyn's majestic ice walls ultimately collapse into a wasteland of sand and gravel on the shores of Antland Lake. Much of it is swept up by the current, and when the Yukon finally reaches its end, it unloads over 1 million tons of sediment into the Bering Sea every single day. That power to turn rock into sand set the Yukon's destiny. While all igneous rock contains some gold, it is rarely found in amounts large enough to be visible. But the Yukon and the streams and creeks that feed it did much of the prospectors' work. Flakes of gold are freed from rocks by wind and rain. The flakes are then carried by rainwater down slopes, eventually accumulating along streams and beaches to form placer deposits. Gold is heavier than sand and gravel, a fact that early miners seized upon over a century ago. With a simple metal pan and some patience, they shaked and sifted through the gravel to reveal the glittering treasure. While gold could be found at the Yukon River's headwaters, the richest finds were 600 kilometers north on a tributary called the Klondike. In the winter of 1897, as many as 10,000 gold seekers made their way across the Chilkoot Trail from Skagway, Alaska, to the shores of Bennett Lake, northwest of Atlin. Stranded until the spring melt, the fortune hunters chopped down every available tree to build the 7,000 boats they would need for the journey to Dawson City.
It wasn't just the quest for gold. I think it was the quest for adventure. It captured the public's imagination for one short year, all of them sharing the same experience, the hardship of bringing their supplies over the mountains to the headwaters, building a boat, and floating down the Yukon River. Some well-designed, some poorly designed, but everybody with one thing in mind, which is to make their way to Dawson City.
And so the shores of a river which had been undisturbed for centuries would witness a frenzy of greed known as the Great Klondike Gold Rush. This single event would leave an enduring mark on the river and on the people whose way of life was almost destroyed.